Good evening, my friends. Daniel Miller here. Welcome to our Destiny world. How's everybody doing? Were you here with us earlier today during our Destiny 1 stream? Perhaps you were, perhaps you watched all we did. And as you will recall, it was a really very good community day. We brought in one of our US junior gaming members, and Bryna was working on her hunter, and she asked me yesterday, day in advance, whether we could be doing certain things together in order to help her to raise the upper light levels with her character. And of course, just like I advised to everyone else, I wanted her to come in, and we scheduled the time today during my live broadcast after my introduction and news for her to be in a team with myself and Sukapupu. And we obviously got together, and then we played lots of strikes. We played zero-rake strikes back to back, literally the whole morning. And also we completed one Nightfall strike as well, and it was a very enjoyable activity. We talked a lot about Bryna's character, and most importantly her channel, because she's trying to build her community, also Destiny related, through her profile. So obviously I asked everybody to provide her with some degree of support. I always want to see our younger gamers from worldwide popping in to us mature video gaming veterans and indeed asking for assistance, and also from our community we always request some degree of attention and help for those people who are literally just at the very beginning and starting out. So I thought it was a very successful morning, and we had a lot of fun, plenty of action, a lot of entertainment, and as always a lot of community activity with loads of people coming in. So I really thank you all for your contributions. But tonight we are continuing with our Destiny 2 Forsaken world, and I talked a bit earlier today about the news I received from Bungie, and I think you probably are going to be very interested to hear what the news are, because they were literally hot off the press, and they concern all that is to happen in September, 17th of September to be precise, when the new they obviously want us to be fully informed well in advance, and they're telling us about those changes step by step. So one of the first ones we received, and literally almost completely in response to the community requests during the last couple of years, was about Eververse. You will recall that many people were really angry about the monetization of that store with Cerberus, and finally we are getting some news that indicate that the course of action is going to change rather drastically. So I'll tell you what Bungie said. This arrived overnight, and I was very glad to read it, because I'm really looking forward to all of that new content. And I also need to say that I'm quite happy with Destiny 2 Forsaken as it is, also with, I guess, a slight accent on the difference which we want to see with our environment and gameplay. We also want a lot more content to be brought in. I'm very excited about the reworking of certain sections. After I downloaded my Complete Edition, after I received some updates, there were lots of new adventures popping up on various planets, and they were quite different to those I played earlier on the Year 1 edition. So, you know, very pleasing to my eye, and indeed to my experience of the gameplay here. And I'm quite certain everybody else was delighted. But the thing is, not many people have the Complete Edition. It was recently released, and it's basically Bungie reworked their digital deluxe edition with some extra bits in there. So therefore I think people who purchased everything step by step from the beginning perhaps did not access all of those updates, or perhaps these updates are still to be played, because you know they might have been indeed launched on your console and on the server, but you might have not visited some of those adventures, because people usually tell me the adventures are kinds of activities which can be done at a later stage. They're not really that important, and as you know, lots of people are playing the Crucible and Gambit in Destiny 2 Forsaken, because there are some very lengthy grinds. Sikapupu was telling us today about the Iron Banner quest, which I believe is in the Crucible, and we've heard about this Iron Banner activity through Captain Jack and many other Destiny 2 Forsaken veterans, people who were with the game literally from the day one, and therefore the focus will be perhaps on those quests, as the quests are going to be providing them with high quality loot and the progression to the upper levels with their power, with their levels and everything else. So I can understand as to why they really want to be progressing to the PvP, and perhaps not looking at these adventures. But you know, for everyone who has been very unhappy with Destiny 2 Forsaken, I would advise you perhaps to watch my stream from time to time and experience some of those novelties that Bungie introduced. Because if you were to be watching the streams I've done during the last couple of days, you would have noticed that those adventures, when played live online, were quite full of enemies, and they were considerably more difficult than what we experienced during the year one. So that was really very, very positive. I applaud Bungie for doing this, and I look forward to many other changes. And I really look forward to the standalone game as well. So basically I read a bit about standalone game, and that is going to be the one resembling Destiny 1, offered to everyone free of charge in September. It will be launched on the same day as the new chapter. And so let's just have a look at the news and tell you a bit about all of that, and then we crack on with some gameplay as well. So basically they want to tell us, in the same way as mentioned on the live stream a couple of weeks ago, that Bungie are going to be continuing to talk about how Destiny will continue to evolve this fall and beyond. So basically what they gave me was the latest update on how they're changing some of the sections of the game. This one concerns Eververse. And you know, this is a store where we pick up bounties, where we buy certain items, and lots of those are basically cosmetic items. Previously we would pay $1 for silver, and then we were able to access some of those, and obviously some people did that. I've had several members here presenting us with some of those items, proudly of course, because the items look very beautiful, and indeed they pointed out that these items were purchased. Lots of Destiny veterans and gamers are very much against this, because they want to be able to work through the game, earn the in-game currency, and consequently spend that currency on certain items. And I think it is only fair that you would have the best of the both worlds. So you could actually purchase cosmetic items if you wanted to right at the beginning, or somewhere after you reach a certain level with your light and power levels. And the other is, if you do not wish to be spending dollars on that, you can then work through some lengthy grinds, earn your in-game currency, and spend it on those goodies. That seems fair, doesn't it? So, you know, let's see what Bungie really told us about Eververse. And they said we already made a number of changes to Eververse in Season of Opulence, which is obviously currently running. They said we redesigned the store, we made bright engrams and include Year 1 gear, and have it bias heavily towards giving you items you have not unlocked in your collections. So the items you've not unlocked in your collections, I guess, will be accessible through it. And we are going to make more changes to the economy, store and armor in this fall's patch. It's going to be a massive big update on the 17th of September. So first of all, we look at armor. So we were happy to see that you go to Eververse store and then see an item that looks cool, and then you'll see that the item has some sort of bad perks on it. In fact, when they were setting up the armor, we would twist themselves, you know, in lots of knots to make sure that the Eververse armor sets didn't have good perks. So they said we did this because we wanted the best way to get sweet perks on your armor to be playing the game, not shopping for enhanced hand cannon loaders at TES. The root cause, dating all the way back to Destiny 1, is that Eververse armor has always had perks gameplay capability as a part of the package. So they said this is going to be no more. And as of this September, all Eververse armor is being converted into universal ornaments. And as you know, ornaments are the ones we pick up. These universal ornaments can be applied to all of the legendary armor sets we are releasing this fall. They will override the look of your equipped gear while preserving the perks, mods and stats of the original item. So remember that, it's very important. They override the look of your equipped gear while preserving the perks, mods and stats of the original item. And Eververse armor you have acquired in your collections will have its universal ornaments automatically unlocked for use on new legendary armor. For example, if the song in your heart is to have your Titan roll with the 2018 Tin Man-esque Festival of the Lost Helmet, you can put it on any of the new legendary armor coming to the game this fall. So that's again yet another very, very exciting addition. So on Bungie blog, and those postings will have very bright images of the proposed changes. The one I'm looking at presently is Noble Constant Type 2 Dragonfly Regalia helmet, and indeed it looks very, very beautiful. I quite like the idea of being able to preserve some of the perks, because I've had a difficulty with spending my mods of light or doing various things like gaining experience through action in order to increase perks in Destiny 1, and then I get a better quality weapon like a legendary exotic, and it's like $3.95 or whatever, and the other ones, once dismantled, would lose all the perks. So that is going to be significantly different, is my understanding. Evolving Bright Dust. Historically, the best way to earn Bright Dust in Destiny 2 has been to buy a bunch of Bright Engrams, shard everything from the Engrams, build a giant bankroll of Bright Dust, and then spend it when the Warlock Dire Amkara helmet shows up, the Bright Dust row, in the last week of the season. So that is going to be changing completely. This autumn, Bungie will be changing Bright Dust from a pay and pay to earn currency to a play to earn reward. So it looks like the pay to earn will be scrapped altogether. It will be play to earn. And I think this needs to be seen as the bottom line, really, in lots of Destiny 2 activities, because there are lengthy grinds, there are lots of infinite possibilities, and I personally believe every single activity needs to be appropriately rewarded, because we have really a very large amount of items that are collected in there. You could say infinite loot. We want to make sure that sometimes we get the best possible rewards for something that appears to be like a really lengthy quest with a lot of difficulties. I guess particularly if people are doing it by themselves. You know, doing it with your community and doing it with a team gives you a completely different perspective. You complete certain missions faster. Indeed, the missions can get a lot more difficult because of the number of the team members attacking the enemy and, you know, being present in the arena. But nevertheless, as you complete the activity, you are then getting higher quality loot, and therefore you're progressing forward. And also, I have to say, during the last couple of weeks, I had a couple of nights where I just tested some of the activity here prior to my broadcast, and I was doing that by myself. And then obviously I had my community on board. And I have to tell you, doing it with your community on board is just simply irreplaceable. There can't be anything else that could top it, because I love it. I love talking, I love discussing with my community members, I love receiving tips, and you just learn so fast, you know. Nick and myself were doing a lengthy session, about 5 hours the other day, and he basically taught me lots of different things that I was completely unaware of. And, you know, it was just a really quite an educational session with lots of tips, lots of interesting activity, and definitely altogether experience that was particularly rewarding for myself. And I think for our viewers, people who are learning how to do Destiny 2 Forsaken, and particularly people who are comparing Destiny 1, would have been able to pick up on lots of different tips that can be applied more or less straight away. So remember, play this game with a team, your own team, your best friends, or, you know, the best teammates, people whom you met here through my channel or through Bungie, and do it always as a team of 3. Just, you know, walk through different missions and collect all the loot. And make sure you really kind of bond with other people, watch some of those streams through Twitch, and make sure that your community also is alive, energetic, vibrant, and, you know, most importantly, always expanding and growing. So they're adding Bright Dust as a reward for completing Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit bounties. So Bright Dust is going to be rewarded. It's going to be seen as a reward for completing Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit bounties. We want all players to earn dust for playing, not for spending money and destroying a bunch of items in inventory. Right? So when you play, you'll be earning dust, and not just spending money and destroying a bunch of items in inventory. After you complete all your bounties for the week, there will be an additional avenue to keep grinding out Bright Dust. So although you might be doing everything in full, there still are going to be some other things to do at the end of the week. It's also pretty cool to go to the collection screen and spend Bright Dust to get shaders or ghost shells or whatever. And Bungie are going to fix that too. Beginning September 17th, Eververse items in your collections will cost Glimmer and Legendary Shards. So if you want to keep pulling out that exotic Sparrow that looks like a motorcycle until you get the good Sparrow perk, instant summon, you can do that with Legendary Shards and Glimmer. So that's a major addition to it as well. So changes to dismantling Eververse items. Lastly, because Bungie are changing the cost of pulling things out of the collections, Eververse items will no longer dismantle into Bright Dust. This autumn, Eververse items will dismantle into Legendary Shards and Glimmer. So anytime you dismantle any of the items from Eververse, you will be getting Legendary Shards and Glimmer, and those can be used for other items in the game. However, this means right now, the absolute best thing you can do with all the Eververse items you do not use regularly, armor, sparrows, shaders, ghost shells, transmat effects, is simply to dismantle them. Sitting on a pile of midnight talents or meta shift from your year 1 stockpiles, well, that is not necessary. You can simply shard them for dust. So that's right, everything must go, no more of that vault full of items that are not necessary and perhaps left for some other rainy day for you to try. Just dismantle everything. The items you'll be able to pick up will actually be superior. And dismantle the extra stuff you have in inventory, build up a huge amount of bright dust and spend it on sweet stuff as it rolls through the Eververse store. Because you know what? On September the 17th, everything in Destiny 2 Forsaken and Destiny World changes. So basically, these are the news related to Eververse. I'm definitely very, very excited about it. I think it is a wonderful lot of news. And I will just tell you a bit more about the standalone game as well. So let me just have a look. It's called The Next Chapter for Destiny 2. And for anyone who has actually not seen the vidoc yet, I advise you to go to Bungie's YouTube channel or indeed to www.bungie.net and have a look at news and go to a section called The Next Chapter for Destiny 2. You'll get all the videos in there. The video that they presented as a small documentary lasting about 15 minutes is being split into shorter clips which are applicable to different types of development, so that's quite useful if you're interested. You can obviously read about them as well, and I just recommend to everyone to access that documentary, because you know what, this is going to be the first step in what we really want the Destiny 2 Forsaken to be, and it's going to be the first time that Bungie are doing the game without any form of input from Activision. So it is going to be your pure independent developers input, and I'm very excited about that because this is going to be for the first time since Bungie were working on Halo, and that is tremendous. Also on Halo they did have some Microsoft input, of course, but it is obviously a different era for Bungie, and they really want to bring it back to the roots. They want all of the community members to be fully involved. So now is the time to be writing messages and hitting them up with your comments and views on Reddit and making sure that you are being heard. I can assure you they are going to be listening to you. You see, they have applied already some of the changes that are coming from our community, and there are obviously many more to be still completed. So the next chapter for Destiny 2 will reunite you with an old ally to confront new nightmares. This fall on September the 17th, Guardians will return to the moon, twisted, reshaped and haunted by our past, to confront new threats and uncover new additions to their customized arsenal. So have a look at the documentary, and there will be a brief rundown on all that has been disclosed so far. I keep thinking that it's called Shadow Dancer or Shadow Play. I don't really know why. Shadow Dancer would be connected to the Lars von Trier film with Dancer in the Dark. The lead actress in there was the famous Icelandic musician Björk, and Shadow Play is a famous Joy Division song, the seminal, legendary new wave band from the 70s. And I'm not sure why, but those titles keep popping up, and I cannot remember Shadowkeep, ever. And I did make some errors on my broadcast several times, where I called it Shadow Dancer, and actually it's Shadowkeep, keeping the shadow. And obviously we have the enemy coming out of the shadows, so it should really be excuse me, drilled into my brain one way or the other. So new nightmares have emerged from the shadows of our forgotten moon, called forth by haunting visions from her tormented past. Ares Maud has reunited and unleashed something that once slumbered beneath the lunar surface, a long dormant power, even that she cannot control. So you have also a clip there of her. And return to the moon, journey deep into the mysterious enemy citadel. Help Ares slay these nightmares before they reach out beyond the moon to cast humanity back into an age of darkness. The most exciting part that they talked about is Destiny 2 New Light. And let's face the facts, this is going to be a very interesting and novel standalone game offered to everyone on all platforms free of charge on the 17th of September. So in addition to Shadowkeep, which you can be obviously pre-ordering and buying, this one is going to be offered to all of us free of charge. It's actually reworking Destiny 1 to a degree, and it starts with the actual beginning of Destiny 1 as we know it. I think they've just redone it completely, so technically, visually, it looks much superior, but the beginning looks the same. You know, you got the ghost sweeping around, discovering one body in there, waking up the Guardian. You take up the body of the Guardian, you become that character, and then you carry on. And that's the way it begins. So they said one of our goals for this year is to make it simpler for new players to join this amazing community and quickly play alongside our veteran Guardians. Destiny 2 New Light. Destiny 2 New Light is a brand new entry point for newcomers that puts the worlds of Destiny 2 and all of its foundational modes, activities and rewards into the hands of every player. It's coming September the 17th and it will be free to download to everyone. Then we have Destiny 2 on PC, and you'll be able to purchase it through Steam. Then you have Destiny 2 on Stadia. Cross-save for Destiny is the other very, very beneficial introduction. We've heard a lot about it, and with all these new ways to play Destiny, you also might be wondering where you'll want to invest your time, i.e. what platform, but it's going to be your consoles or indeed your PC. So to make that decision easier, Bungie are excited to announce that cross-save will become available from autumn, from the 17th of September. And with cross-save, you are going to be able to access the same characters tied to one primary account. So like the account that I've got here, everything I've got here. Obviously, at the moment, I have just Warlock on Destiny 2, but we'll have also Hunter and Titan. And all of that will be basically uploaded to the server. It is going to be cross-platform accessible. So let's say I want to play Destiny 2 in Germany on a PC, just access my account to that PC in Germany, and indeed I'm then getting all of the information uploaded. If I go to the US and I want to be doing it on Xbox, do something for Microsoft, I can just pull out my Xbox, upload all the information from the server, and again cross-platform save will make it possible for me to just crack on straight away. So no more, you'll have no need to be building all of your characters on separate platforms. You'll be able to have 3 characters basically uploaded to your account or the Bungie server, and this account is going to be then downloadable to any platform that you want to use, wherever you are, whenever you want. So that's amazing, and that's the first step towards cross-platform access altogether. So it's cross-platform save, but then hopefully we'll get also cross-platform access. So with cross-save, you'll be able to access the same characters tied to one primary account, enabling you to have a unified experience with the same Guardians on different platforms. Your first steps will become available on Bungie.net later on this summer. So I guess we are going to be introduced to this even earlier to what I anticipated. And also, if anybody wants to find out more about all of those news, the best thing to do is to subscribe to the newsletter and to the alerts, so you can just access them through Bungie.net, and then you'll be given. It's www.bungie.net, and once you subscribe, you'll get regular alerts. One of the best ways is to follow Bungie on Twitter, Destiny 2 the Game, and Destiny 2 the Game will be giving you then the regular updates, and particularly if you follow some of their notifications, they'll also send you personalized messages, and that's the best, because on those messages you'll have some videos, you have other activities, and whatever is to happen, whatever is to be coming out of Bungie will obviously come directly into your account through a private message, which you can read at your leisure. So Bungie said, we're excited for what the future of Destiny holds. We hope you'll come along with us on that next step of this journey. We'll have more to say about these developments all summer long. Thank you for playing, and thank you for being part of this incredible Destiny world community. Stay tuned. We have more updates for Destiny 2 Shadowkeep coming later this year. Well, we are very grateful, and indeed we are the active members of this wonderful Destiny world community. We love Destiny. We love teaming up with other gamers worldwide. We like providing advice, tips and help to our junior and perhaps more senior members who are accessing this channel, talking to us at any given moment in time, and connecting through my Twitch broadcasts. And we really want our community also to be blossoming, growing, which obviously has been the case during the last 9 months. And I really look forward to that September, because guess what? It's quite coincidental that we would have, on one hand, on the 17th of September, Shadowkeep, the new chapter of Destiny release, and in September I'm celebrating my first 12 months of broadcasting on Twitch through this channel. So we're going to have a double whammy of celebrations. We have the new chapter of Destiny. We're getting the new standalone Destiny game called New Hope, free of charge. Is it New Hope? I think it is. New Light. New Hope is obviously Star Wars. New Light. And then in addition to that, we are going to be running the whole lot of activities here that will provide our community members with some rewards. I want to provide you with the real sense of gratitude for all you've done during the last 12 months, for all of your contributions, help, advice and input in every way imaginable, from chats on Twitch, through personalized messages, through your tweets, Instagram postings, live gaming online through my broadcast, all other good wishes and reminders that I've received during the entire period, and overall for being here with us every single day within our community, spending your time, your valuable time, and sharing your thoughts and views with us all. Thank you for that. That is wonderful. You could see that Bungie are most grateful, as well as myself, to you all, people who are in awe of this wonderful sci-fi shooter, and our community members who are always there, ready and available to help, to myself and anyone else who requires some guidance and assistance. Tonight we are going to be carrying on with the game, as you know, so let me just get everything up and running on my stream, and let me just make sure that we can all access the game as early as possible. Matthias is here. Hello Matthias, how are you doing, sir? Good to see you. We are doing Destiny 2 Forsaken, as you could see. I've gone back to my Destiny 2 stream, and I purchased the complete edition, so I've got the entire content. We are doing everything bit by bit, and we are also doing some lengthy grinds in here, with the new adventures that were added on through updates and just exploring the world. And Matthias says, I'm alright, all is good. And Matthias says, reset day on Division 2. Indeed it is. I have seen some postings and I retweeted some of those as well. I was very excited to have tried the game during the weekend, and I think I've done quite well. I went up the ladder, played quite a bit, and I just had this problem on Thursday with the game download because of the PSN outages worldwide. I had to restart, and I just lost 2 days of free trial basically, and that is really annoying because I wanted to do 4 broadcasts, 4 evening broadcasts in order to introduce the game as an add-on to what we've done through beta. But all is to follow really in the near future. I'll be just waiting for the price to drop a bit. But I just want to ask you, did you also find the game to be as exciting, and are you enjoying it? Because obviously you've been doing it now for a while, ever since the game. It does have raids, there's a lot of team effort. What's your experience so far? Matthias says, I'm really enjoying it still. I'm very glad, because you remember we had some discussions about the original. In fact, we played the original here live on air, and I guess you were, you liked the game, but it wasn't anything sort of particularly interesting or exciting overall. And I think from what you said after you purchased the sequel, I got the feeling that you actually liked the sequel a lot better, because obviously there were many more activities. It was more hectic, and one could obviously work better within that team compared to what we had in the Division 1. The problem I had with the original was, which obviously you would experience as well, when you were with a top-notch player in there, then all the enemies were kind of tied to this player, and everybody else was kind of made a bit insolvent. Their weapons and their activities didn't really matter as much, and that itself was indeed a bit of a headache. I think from what I tried during the weekend, this has been altered. It doesn't work anymore in the same way, and there's a different sort of flavour to matchmaking as well. So I did get some people who were on a similar level to myself, which I thought was pretty good. And Matthias says, currently I'm leveling up to the new specialization, and I'm grinding for a high armor DPS build. Yeah, I've seen some of the postings on the Ubisoft Twitter, and I've actually watched some of the broadcasts as well. I think it looks amazing. And again, similar to this game, it's a game that's constantly evolving, and they want to be investing in that evolving world. And they're really kind of testing out the waters for all the additional content and the way it's going to be received by the community. I think generally both games are progressing forward rapidly and also with good feedback from the community. I didn't see anything major coming in on the seasons here, which would indicate that people really intensely dislike them. Didn't see many complaints, and I think the Division 2 is similar. Although obviously the Division 2 has been just launched early in the year, so we have many more missions and add-on content to be introduced. And Matthias says, if you do end up getting it, let me know because I can power level you. Absolutely. I will get the game, and we are going to do it together. We obviously played the other game together, and it was a very good experience. And it's just a question of time, and also it's the question of my time and my schedule here. As obviously I want to be expanding on Destiny Forsaken, I want more time here to be dedicated to the sequel, and this will have to be balanced out with the community requests. Incidentally, the poll I'm running and the questions I've the answers I receive from my community members on personalized messages indicating they really want the Destiny 1 to remain within the present format, meaning every day for about 5 hours. So I'll have to be doing add-on streams, but you will know as a gamer what's fundamental is that one has the degree of continuity, because if you're doing like odd streams a couple of times a week, you will not be able to entertain either your community or indeed yourself with the content. So I'm struggling a bit with this, meaning that some of the other games like Anthem and the Division 2, which obviously are on the top of my list, will have to be waiting for a little while. And Matthias says, also playing together allows me to drop armor and weapons that I find for you, and you can use them if you are on the appropriate level. That is one of the greatest benefits in there. And to be honest with you, people I played with during the weekend, they were dropping armor all the time, and they were giving me level 30 armor, legendary and exotic, and weapons as well, and it was like greatly supportive. I have to say, everyone who popped in was very supportive, a proper team effort player, and although most of the times I was doing it in co-op with another person, we really had a lot of good time, and it was like done properly. So basically doing section attacks, and it was great to see that people knew exactly what to do. I mean, I'm quite experienced in military games and strategy games, that sort of thing, and I sort of like playing with people who are in possession of a similar sort of mindset, and definitely we are going to do it together. In fact, to be frank with you, I would have bought the game already, but I always want to go for the open world multiplayer. Basically I want to get the top tier edition, and top tier edition is usually about $100 or nearing $90 or so, and ultimate edition of the Division 2 is also about $90. So I really be waiting for that to be dropping to maybe about $50. I'll be quite happy to pay $50 for it. It's a new game, but I got this one for $34.99, although I didn't need half of the content because obviously I already had it. I got the seasons, and I got the DLC, and I got all the updates. So that was pretty good. And Matthias says, I'm eating lunch right now, but if you need help getting through stuff, I can hop on in a bit. Sure, just let me know later on, maybe in a couple of hours, because I'll do the stream until about 11, so still going to be going, maybe midnight, so probably run for 4 hours so far. I want that continuity to be present, and I've talked a bit about all the introductions, coming from Bungie, and all the news I received overnight from them. So this is just introducing my community members to Shadowkeep and the changes to Eververse, which I think are very good, as well as the new light, the standalone, free of charge Destiny 1 rework, and really kind of look forward to that as well. Matthias says it was 40% off up until yesterday. It was offered on a good discount, I did see, but still was, well, for my liking at the moment, a bit pricey. I'll just wait for the right moment. And basically, because I purchased the Destiny Forsaken Complete Edition, I thought buying 2 of them at the same time would kind of digress me a bit. I really look forward to those seasons, and I really want to, it's the excitement about being able to catch up with everything that's been introduced, and also most importantly, all the interesting activities that you guys were telling me about. So that is what I want to do. If I brought in the Division, because I'm really a great fan of military and games and tactical shooters, I'd be very drawn to that. I wouldn't be able to kind of keep away from it. So it's just a question of planning, and we want to have a system where everyone is happy at the end of the day. So slowly but surely, I will be reworking the channel a bit in September. September is going to be my anniversary, 12 months of broadcasting here on Twitch on this channel. And we are going to be introducing maybe a few changes and a few ideas. Particularly, I think the nights which we can run as community nights, and that will be beautiful once I allow my kind of cross-platform stream sort of thing, on Twitch, and then we can have a poll. People can basically vote for a game which is on Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Now services, and they say, well, we really want to play this game on that particular night. We have like once a week a night where we all coming, and some people are being introduced to the game. What's good about Xbox is that they are going to be giving the best games owned by them, like Gears of War 5, to be accessible early to the Game Pass, and I think this is going to be of tremendous advantage. You know what I mean? We can really do something early, introduce it, the community members could step in, we can have really good discussions. So I see actually a lot of scope for a major community-based development in that respect. And Matteo says, to be honest, I haven't logged into Destiny 2 since the beginning of the Season of the Drifter. Yeah, probably you've not then tried Season of Opulence, which would have started recently, and I'll catch up as well. It's not a big deal. It is just a question of learning what to do, and the game is significantly different compared to Destiny 1, but I think they are trying to bring it to that kind of Destiny 1 level with some of the introductions. The adventures I played since last Monday, so that's during the last 10 days, were basically adventures that were added since the year 1, and they obviously popped up on the planets after I downloaded and uploaded, updated the complete edition. And those adventures were considerably different. So there were many more enemies, and I wouldn't say they were particularly hard, but the activity was definitely more packed with loads of things to do. And two other things were we were collecting more loot, and there were many more chests everywhere, which was not the case originally. So, that was appreciated. But I think the idea they had, correct me if I'm mistaken, was basically linked to, the concept that as you're progressing in the game, then you will just be accessing the quests and the tasks of greater difficulty. I think that might be also part and parcel of it. Similar to what you have in Division 2. When you start out initially, you're kind of learning how to use weapons and how to position yourself in those situations, but then after a little while, you are encountering the enemies that are harder to compete and or to defeat, I should say, and therefore there is a greater challenge. So maybe it will be that degree of grading. I think with updates and with everything introduced, it may be progressing down this route. Exciting times ahead of us, either way. I'd like to see Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 within one arena, and obviously Destiny 1 in its present format, perhaps with somewhat improved graphics, like remastering graphics to 4K. I also think that the maps in here, the exteriors, they really have to be redone, because we played the other night one mission where you actually merge the exteriors of Destiny 2 and the interiors of Destiny 1, and Destiny 1 graphics, the visuals in there, the attention to detail were much superior, and it's just something that they will be able to update in due course, I think. Right, I think I'm coming to we are going to be cracking on with some action, so let me put my glasses on and then we'll carry on. Well, great to see you, Matthias. We've not talked for a little while. Hope you're well, hope all is good work-wise, and I always keep forgetting that you are 8 hours back, so it must be what, around 1 o'clock, is it? Or 12 o'clock your time? Must be around 1 o'clock, right? We have Jerry popping in every day, 5 o'clock in the morning, He's up at 5, and he pops in every single day, says hello, and tells us a bit about what, goes on in Texas. Yeah, I thought so. It's 8 hours back. So it's literally midday, bang on midday, high noon, So now it's like, what is it, 1900 hours in here? Yeah, no, 2000 hours, so 8 o'clock p.m. in London. Alright, so let's have a look at our Warlock and all that we need to do. All the admin was completed the other day, and indeed we are going to be now cracking on with some serious action. One thing I keep forgetting in here is bounties. I've got to collect my bounties before departing, and they run here differently compared to what we had in Destiny 1. And also the update that was recently introduced changed the layout of the director. So we have these pursuits, and the pursuits are telling you what you still need to be doing. So you can see I've got quite a few pursuits. We were doing the cleansing in Gambit the other day, and I was absolutely terrible, because obviously it was my first view of Gambit altogether. And I found Gambit to be very challenging. It was a bit like the Dark Zone in The Division 2, right? It's a combination of PvP and PvE. But I thought the map was interesting. It was perhaps more exciting, or more difficult than what I've seen in the Crucible, perhaps less predictable as well. And yeah, so there are lots of these tasks in here, but at the moment I'll still focus on anything else that requires attention on the planets. So what we'll do is we'll first of all look at those destinations. So on Titan, I think I completed everything. Yeah, I did. Sloan. Then we'll have a look here on Io. I completed also everything, and I think that there is something left on Nessus. Yes, there is. Flashpoint Nessus Vendor Challenge. So it's a weekly Flashpoint Nessus complete, and I need to be completing that. So let me just see whether there are any bounties for this, because I need to get some bounties and I need to have them on me. So we'll go back to the Traveller, collect some bounties. In fact, I want to collect Everest bounties. I talked about them quite a bit today. Matthias says Dark Zone basically requires a group, because Gambit guarantees a team of 3 others on your side. Yeah, that's right, it's 3 against 3, and then you have the other enemies there, PvE. It seemed hectic, you know. We've done it in the area, but there are lots of different platforms, and be jumping from one to another, and it seemed, what I like about it, it's providing us a bit of variety. You can do PvE, you can do PvP, or you can do, you know, like a merger of the two, and that's pretty good. I think Destiny 2 provides many more options, you know. It's less of a kind of a hardcore shooter open world game. It does have various avenues through which people can engage, and to be frank, the vast majority of our community veterans here on my channel are all grinding the Iron Banner quest through the Crucible, and they've been doing it already for a while. Sekapupu and Captain Jack and EMJ, and you know, the whole lot of our regulars, they're all doing it, and they say, yeah, it takes a long while to get it. Unfortunately, I can't really do much of PvP with my present setup, as you know, and doing everything to get better upload speed, but in the UK it's very hard to get unless you are on business fibre optic, and I can't actually access it in this area, thanks to British Telecom and all, you know, all other providers. They're just not willing to do it at the moment. I find it ridiculous, because I live in a really affluent area and they just don't care. They don't want to invest in cabling. There need to be cables done from street exchanges to our properties, you know, in my section of the town. They don't want to do it. Complained already for 3 years. Let's have a look.
Eververse is at your service.
Yeah, Tessis. All of this will be then offered on in-game currency. Be able to pursue certain quests, we'll get in-game currency, and then that will serve us well if we wanted to purchase any of those items. Weekly Eververse bounties. Power weapon multi-kills, precision kills, patrols completed, Crucible, chests, lost sectors, matches. Okay, so we'll take maybe power weapon multi-kills, precision kills.
Another satisfied customer.
Power kills, Controls completed. 3. Okay, we can have
Always
that
a
as
pleasure.
well. It's Crucible. Chests will take. Lost sectors completed. Well, we are full now, are we? Okay, so we picked up these. That seems sufficient.
Thanks for shopping Eververse, Guardian.
My pleasure, madam. I'll be back after another hard battle. Fear God, honor the king. So let us see whether all of that registered.
Take as long as you like. I can
1,
wait.
2, 3, 4. 4 of those are there. Okay. Pick up some from Banshee as well. Banshee is there.
Nice shooting out there.
Calibration.
Deal.
Grenade launcher calibration. Kinetic weapons. Final blows. Strikes can be Crucible. Crucible we won't do yet.
Take it.
Alright, so that seems fine. The idea is to collect, you know, quite a few
Take it easy.
bounties. Maybe we get some from Zavala if he's dishing out some as well. And this is going to be somewhat different to what I've done so far. A bit of a challenge. And I want to see how all of this actually works out within this sort of new layout, which would have come together with the
Anything to
update.
report? Are you ready?
So we have here multi-kills.
Don't let it go to waste.
Okay.
A prepared soldier is a victorious soldier.
So we'll take everything. And then what's this? Pursuit. Quest. Complete strikes a grenade launcher. Okay, we'll take
Don't
that
let
as
it
well.
go to waste.
I will not, sir. I'll defeat the enemy. The darkness will be obliterated and fully destroyed. Fear God, honor the king, sir. Back after another hard battle. So I think I have plenty of bounties. We'll go up here, look at the view, and then we'll proceed. So we'll go up in the orbit, and we'll go to our destinations. And then we are going to be looking at the next planet, which is Nessus. Okay? We are going to be warming up with that vendor challenge. Exodus Black popped up as well. I thought we completed that. So Exodus Black quest. Well, we are going to be
I've learned over the years
tracking
to
this
listen
quest.
when a warlock speaks.
Probably the best way of doing it is by going to Watcher's Grave, and then we'll be tracked. So I picked up all the bounties, and we are going to be doing this Exodus Black quest. I think I've done it already before, and curious to see whether they reworked it. There we are, up in the orbit, and ready to crack on. Hope you guys are enjoying your evening. We've had a very strange day here. It started with a lot of sunshine, it was warm, it looked like finally all of that dreadful rain, all of that flooding was coming to an end. But then it became very, very cloudy later in the afternoon, and I have to say, whilst I was having my break and after my dinner, I thought it was going to be really raining badly, and it's still very, very murky. Black clouds are just over us, and it doesn't look like we can get rid of that rain and all the flooding. Awful. Hopefully it's nice and warm where you are. No winds, no rain, but I hope it's not scorching hot. Jerry told us in Texas it was really, really hot already, but 35, 36 degrees, and that is indeed hard to bear. So we have some friends in there as well, by the looks of it. And probably we can just start with this event. Yeah. Where are we? Let's see. There.
These Vex, they're building something.
Calculating probabilities. Yes, they are.
I want to do my dark drinker, but I could not. There is another pair of hands in there, and that is truly appreciated. There's Hydra going in there. Wow, look at that, look at that also. I even surprised myself. Didn't get killed. Ooh, that minotaur there. I hate him. So we complete this event already.
Well, we slowed them down.
What do
Chest.
computational processing speeds matter for Vex? Answer suppressed.
Well, as you can see, some of those events are a lot easier than the ones faced in Destiny 1. You can just race through them. On the other hand, I did play a few that did pose a difficulty. So, you know, don't take it with a pinch of salt. Some are difficult, some are easy. And I think they are introducing quite a few of those more difficult ones as we speak. Many more through updates, don't forget. The game is developing and evolving. Look at him. He's hiding. Collect loot as well. Some loot. Hello, Captain Jack. How are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Indeed, Destiny 2, Captain Jack says. Yeah, I'm cracking on with my Destiny 2 streams as part of my kind of evening broadcasts. And I've gone back to that because I've no time early in the day for Destiny 2 Forsaken. And as I'm in possession of the complete edition, I want to be engaging with everything, catching up with you guys, and indeed progressing down the route of the seasons. So that's the next step for me. And for my community members here as well. And Captain Jack says, you should have made the pub heroic. Just expand a bit. You mean the event, or? And Matthias says, I think Daniel still has a lot to learn about Destiny 2. Absolutely. I'm still playing the base game. What I'm doing at the moment is still the base game, and I'm very far from anything which is advanced. So, you know, the idea here, guys, is I'll do, as soon as I complete bits and pieces, I'll progress down the DLC route. So I'll be doing, is it the Curse of Osiris, and then I'll do Warmind, and then Forsaken. So that's going to be the sequence, right? And then we'll just, you know, do things bit by bit. There's no hurry, there's no rush. And obviously I need to be leveling up, I need to have better weapons, I need to be fully equipped for that is to follow. But I just want to say, I'm very grateful to you guys because you've been with me from the beginning here on the channel. And when I do some strikes today, like Siva Heroic strikes back to back in Destiny 1, I just walk through them. And you remember what struggle this was initially. Obviously I didn't have good enough weapons, I was underpowered, but still, it's just the experience and knowledge that I obviously acquired from yourselves that made my game time here great, and you know, really appreciate it. Very, very grateful to you all, particularly to all of my dedicated viewers and regulars. Where is this? Yeah, there, the adventure. No, the quest. The quest, actually, the adventure. And that is instant death. I was thinking about the quest and didn't pay attention where I was going. And we know full well what that means, right? Okay, what's up here? Hi, Captain Jack. How are you doing, sir? Iron Banner it is, isn't it? Sekapupa's doing it as well, and also DML. Quite a number of our friends are doing, you know, that quest. Season of Opulence. I remember that you were a bit frosty on it. Are you happy with it? You would have had it for about 2.5 weeks now, I think. You warming up? Is it as good? Or is it weaker than the other seasons? I'm sure Matthias would be also interested to hear what your experience is of the latest season. Captain Jack says, I got too much other stuff to do banner. I see. Yeah, I guess there are lots of options and there are lots of activities. EML, our community member from Ireland, was just telling me about this the other day. And Captain Jack says I still need to be working on my bounties as well. Zuberna. Farm Imperials, etc. So that looks like, you know, like a lot of activity, a lot to do. But I like that. I think because activity here, particularly in some sections, is quite snappy. One can be racing and doing, you know, many things in the course of one evening. And I guess this is quite significant diversion from Destiny 1 experience, because in Destiny 1 we'd be stuck with one strike. We do it again and again for quite a while. In here, I've not been doing anything of that sort. And, you know, the open world adventures and activities are, well, you can sort of finish them quite quickly, and then you can just basically do many of them in the course of one evening, and that makes it really quite exciting and rewarding, I think, for some of the gamers, you know, with achievements and leveling up and all sorts. But I think Destiny 2 gets more and more difficult as one carries on. Would you not agree? When you progress to the seasons, then there are lengthy grinds and some very difficult quests. In fact, I did play a quest, it was a strike the other day. It was myself and Nick doing it, and I've not seen that one before. And the strike was basically from Warmind. You know, with that worm that happens right at the end, where you have that worm. I think it's the end game, or the end mission. And you have to destroy that worm. And then I used my super on the worm, and 2 of those Nova bombs were basically swallowed by the worm, and they caused a lot of damage. That was really quite good. But it looked interesting, and it was quite hard. Nick and myself were a 2-piece, you know, co-op obviously, and you know, we finished it, but it did take us a bit of time. Yeah, that was really funny. That was really funny. I didn't think it would work, because I thought the worm would like to, you know, evade Nova Bomb, as the super is like massive in Destiny 2. But contrary to my expectations, it was just like, you know, going down his throat. And then kaboom. So it was a bit hard to digest, I guess. But the health went down considerably. I think probably 2 Nova bombs inside of that worm were probably knocking off 60% of the monster's life, be my assumption. But, you know, my friend was also using some really powerful weapons in there, so maybe a combination of the 2 that were causing all the damage. Not sure. I didn't get killed. I didn't get killed in there at all, thanks to my friend in there, Nick, who was obviously very versatile and, you know, more than experienced in Destiny 2. X is black. Follow the strange harpy to discover what the Vex know. And I think I've got a bounty. I think I've got a bounty related to that as well. Let me just have a look. Remember something mentioned there. Where is it? There was this harpy somewhere. Yep, follow the strange harpy to discover Vex, what the Vex know. Complete my captain on Nessus. Alright, so that sounds good.
Captain, did you find the captain?
No sign of him yet, failsafe. Sorry.
That is fine, and not at all disappointing. It's not like I've been waiting centuries for this.
You know what I really don't like in here, I have to tell you, is if you look, for instance, at the environment, right? If you go up here, you know when I walked through here. It's just that this environment doesn't have the same sort of texture compared to Destiny 1, can you see? When you look down, it looks a bit flimsy, and also it's very bright, glowing all the time. Don't know why they've done it like that. It just makes a big difference, and I really wish they would provide some updates and then rework the environment, but it's likely they probably rework that for the new console, you know, like a 4K remaster, that sort of thing, because it's just like really faint, don't you think? When you walk, it's all like a bright, highly illuminated, and in some areas. Okay, follow the harpy. So where is this harpy? Captain Jack says it does look best on PC. It's very possible. On a good rig, you know, definitely would feel much superior to what I have here. I guess it may look even better on Xbox One X, you know. Ah, no. Why on earth did I bounce off those tiles? It's just too bad. Just getting back to Captain Jack, you know, cross-platform save will be very useful because, you know, everyone doing glitch. Look at that. That's ridiculous. So just wondering whether it's going to bring me back to the same spot, or whether I need to do everything from the beginning. Captain Jack says, cross-platform save does nothing for me, but I'm happy for the streamers that play on all platforms. That's the idea. And also it is going to be uniting people from, you know, separate communities. I think that is going to be the biggest, the greatest benefit. Because you've seen here on my channel that very frequently people ask, can you find us somebody to do it on Xbox? Destiny 1, that is, you know, so... No, I just forgot now whether... harder to, or maybe it's my weapon, I don't know. What, chasing me from there? No, 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 no. Going all the way back for nothing. Yeah, cross-platform save is going to bring people together, you know. I'm really quite excited to see how this is going to work. And I had lots of people coming in and asking, can you find us some Xbox gamers for Destiny 1? And we've had people working on the original, you know, on Xbox 360 as well. And I did have people coming in here as well last year saying that we're doing it on PC. So, you know, it's down to preference, let's face the facts, but we all want our community to be growing, you know, bigger the better, and we want to have also some tools in order to connect to others. Are you guys going to Guardian Con? I've seen that Guardian Con is being held in Florida, I think, and it seems very busy. I got some postings today on some charity runs, you know, and donations, so that looked really good. That is something I want to be doing in the UK as well, and we need to really kind of work out a good system so we can kind of, you know, through gaming we can focus on some very serious social issues as well. All of that is to come. Oops. I'm going the wrong way. You see, there are quite a few enemies in here, but none of them are posing any sort of major difficulty. And my sword is not particularly powerful. It's like mid-range sword. So where's the other chap? He's so far, and it looked like he'd be just literally around the corner. If there's one thing I really like about Destiny 2 is jumping and gliding. I really like it a lot better than in Destiny 1. You know, those jumps on Warlock are really awesome. So for instance, you do higher jumps, you can glide well, and, you know, it's much improved. I think in Destiny 1 was a bit crude, and considering I don't really like jumping much, this makes it a lot easier. I was doing some, you know, platform jumping yesterday outside of my broadcast, and it was very easy. And also, you know, with the for instance, double jump, you come here and you go up, you know, it's like much easier than in Destiny 1. And when you come to the edge, you can also grab. Captain Jack says, yeah, a long time and well-known Destiny streamer named The Talion puts Guardian Con together every year. It's been well advertised, and I did see lots of postings coming out of Bungie and also on some other gaming hubs like Games Radar, IGN, Games Informer, Game Informer, you know, they all talked about Guardian Con, and I think this year is going to be probably quite big in view of the you know, new chapter of Destiny that is to unravel in September. So, you know, it looks very, very good. But I take it would have been set up by one of the fans, one of the streamers, right? He was the one who kind of got people together, and that's always the best, because that community is just incredible, you know. People who are belonging to one community, and they'll know each other through daily chats, and then they go out there and attend, you know, convention in a massive conference hall. That's the best. Because the vast majority of streamers are completely independent, so people can obviously speak their mind out, talk about everything. Gothalion, you say? I have to really check him out. So look at this, Princess. I'm going to be facing some boss in there that is level 700. So what am I to do? See that? These 6 stats. So I can just get away from there because I have no weapons or any means of contesting you know, his power levels. Bypass. Captain Jack says it's big. Every year. Last year they previewed Gambit at Guardian Con. Still no word on more playable content Bungie's bringing this year. Well, that's going to be a surprise. I tell you what it might be. It might be New Light. New Light might be the next one, you know, because New Light is going to be introduced free of charge, and they could basically present it there to the newbies and veterans alike. So that's my bet. Perhaps more than Shadowkeep. Shadowkeep they'll keep under the wraps. They'll probably give some teasers, you know, because they want it to be exciting and full of interesting novelties. But the game given for free is likely to be featuring there for certain. And Captain Jack says that boss is called the Forge Saboteur. That's the Black Armory DLC in Forsaken. And Matthias says probably more from the Eris Morn story arc. It's possible. It's possible. They might be providing some teasers or, you know, some cutscenes from the Shadowkeep. And my bet is basically on that standalone, because that's something new. They've not provided anything which is you know, standalone free of charge, and it's reworking activities of Destiny 1. So I'm really, really curious to see how they've done it. Looked very good on that video documentary. And Captain Jack says, yeah, I was thinking a new strike or like a new PvP mode. Well, we'll see, basically. Guardian Con is just around the corner, I think. Do not remember the exact dates, but you know, it's not too far away from us. A high value target is nearby, right? So really, this is not funny. The entire activity was just glitched out, and I was booted and I have to restart everything from the beginning. Do you see that? It didn't save anything at all. It didn't save anything.
Captain, did you find the captain?
No sign of him yet, failsafe. Sorry.
That is fine, and not at all disappointing. It's not like I've been waiting centuries for this.
Captain Jack says it is 15 days till Guardian Con. So it is around the corner. It is around the corner. But you know what? I'm still oversaturated with all the news from E3. I'm still recovering. So many things happening. You guys must be excited about Cyberpunk and Watch Dogs. These were some of the highlights for me. Cyberpunk looked awesome. A bit like a weird, semi-morbid version of Blade Runner. That was my first impression. CD Projekt Red really excelled, you know. Amazing how that company developed in the last 10 years. I was actually in Poland when they released The Witcher. I was in Poland at that time, and it was a very, very big thing, you know. It was the first major production by a Polish development company, and obviously very, very successful. And I really liked some of the presentations. You got the bookstore, or to WH Smith style store, you know, and they would have like massive big banners and statues advertising the game, and it was absolutely awesome on a grand scale. The Witcher 1 that was.
There's that harpy again. It seems friendly. Maybe it'll lead to the captain. If nothing else, we'll have an interesting story for Asher.
Okay, let's see what happens. This harp is going to lead. Good. Well, that wasn't too difficult. So the objective is prove yourself to the racks. Okay. I really have to make sure that I do not slip in here. That was very close.
From Earth? You like Captain once.
Captain Jacobson?
Failsafe, this is not your captain.
Captain. Yes. Come. Test. We test.
So our harp is gone. And I've just slipped. And if I get glitched again, that is going to be a major disappointment. Okay, I've managed to get there. Okay, did manage to get there as well. And that. Okay. So that is in order. As you can see, jumping in here is made easy. A lot easier than what I had in Destiny 1. I really struggled in there. In many parts. My captain? So where is my captain? I need to follow the harpy! Death is instant. Yeah, you're right actually, I've jumped too early. Okay, so let me see, where do I go? What do I do? Where do I go? Ah! Yeah, because I played my game standing, my line of sight is somewhat warped, so I need to really reposition myself because I can see, actually don't see that rock in there too well. So let me see. Yeah, okay, I managed to do that. Okay. So where's this harpy going?
I knew this was some kind of trap.
Well, that's a bit naff, don't you think? All that trouble for nothing for me to get to the same area. Nil. Okay. Boo. Fanatic killed me. Your light fades away. Restarting from last checkpoint. Okay, so I better get another weapon. Because my sword is bare. Okay. Quickly have a look at my primary. Do you have a hand cannon there? Submachine sniper. Okay. Now this one's gonna explode in there. Right. Well, that was close. But I survived. Boo! It wasn't too difficult, it was just a bit slow, that's all. To try that other weapon, that hand cannon, pistol. And Mozart says, don't forget Warlocks have the Rift ability in Destiny 2. You know, I did forget. The weapons was better, I think. Aim for the belly, right? And lots of ammunition in here as well, which is good. I saw the swell map. 40. No, no. That sniper killed me earlier, I think. At least harmed me. Why am I not walking? Well, that's a new invention, isn't it? These Vex are a bit like these exploding thralls in Destiny 1, although I have to say a bit less deadly. We fought Omnigul today and heavily modified strike in Destiny 1, and we got killed quite a few times, you know. In fact, I played it I think twice with 2 different crews.
Is this?
Belly.
Where's Captain Jacobson?
Captain Jacobson. Yes. Come. Share mine.
Where is Captain Jacobson? Okay, defending probably. I guess this is okay if you're doing it by yourself, but if you're doing it in a team, this is like really easy.
Failsafe, don't say we've never done anything for you.
Why would I, friendly ghost?
It's so humid in here. I'm nearly at the point of collapse, you know? It's just so humid. Getting a headache. Just covering up, probably need to open the window a bit. guess what? It's raining again. Really annoying. Completed one of the bounties in there, quite a stack. Similar to the other one where we had to destroy oracles, but the oracles were a lot more difficult compared to this.
Hey, that harpy's on the move again.
Oh no, this was just miscued. Oh no, it worked. Alright. Start with you. Nearly the end of me.
Why are you here?
Captain Jacobson, can you hear me? It's me, your failsafe.
It's you, my failsafe. Yes, I have this memory. You are a good failsafe. Always helping. Very good.
Captain, are you? I've scanned for you every day since you left. I'm so sorry I couldn't find you.
I left. Yes, I have this memory.
So where's he gone? Oh no. going up there? Okay. Just a minute. Yeah.
Lost. Yes. We will test lost.
Wait a minute, where do we need to go? Oh, here. Okay. Hello, Liz here. Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you. No, I didn't see this boss. Close my window. Hello Lolia, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming, thank you for watching this channel. Lolia says, I'm okay, just got back home from a long trip. Well, that's always hard. And I don't believe it, I walked back and I got killed. Matthias says, just think of this as practice for raid jumping puzzles. You mean raid jumping puzzles in Destiny 2, because the in-game mechanics on the characters in Destiny 1 are significantly different, you know? It's a lot more difficult to be jumping in Destiny 1 compared to what we have here. Well, I find it a lot more difficult. I find movement in here to be a lot more smooth. Immune, no longer though. There weren't that many enemies in there, that's crazy. Me being silly walking back. Lodia said he was just back from that long trip. Where did you go, sir? Where was the trip? Was it in the US or did you sort of travel elsewhere? Search remains.
This is the final log of Captain Jacobson of the Exodus Black. We hoped to touch the stars, to colonize beyond our system. We failed. I couldn't save my colonists. I couldn't save my crew. I couldn't even save myself. The machines here are closing in. I think they mean to study me. If someone finds this, I would do it all again.
Captain Jacobson is dead?
Yes. I'm so sorry, Failsafe. We'll see you soon.
There we are. So let's see, has that been... No, we'll have another one. Simulation of Grief as well. Okay, we'll do that. But you know what? I'm getting a bit dizzy. It's extremely humid in here because we are having some... well, it's raining a bit outside, but it's very hot and very unpleasant, so I have to take a short break. I'm feeling a bit hazy. Have a drink of water. I'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes, so stay with us and we'll carry on with our Exodus Black quest, so that is what I'm going to be doing very, very shortly. I need to take a short break. I'm getting a bit dizzy. It's very humid in here, and when I get back in about 10 minutes, we are going to be cracking on immediately. So have a cup of tea, have a biscuit, stretch around a bit, you know, have a breath of fresh air, and we'll carry on in a few minutes. Looks like I have to be speaking to failsafe and Nexus. Was it Nessus? Nessus, right? Nessus, that's right, not Nexus. May just equating two things. Oh, there was another member in here. Some messages coming in. I need to see what these are. Feel safe.
Captain, hello! Before you came to Nessus, my #1 objective was to learn to embrace the uncaring silence of the void.
I had some stuff to deal with.
However, my increased efficiency is clear proof that I required a new crew. Although I will not forget my first crew, I understand now that you are my captain, and I am proud to be your failsafe.
There we are. Failsafe thanks you for the work you've done in securing Nessus. New challenges appear on the horizon, however. Failsafe thanks you for eliminating the unwelcome guests on Nessus. Except...
Captain, although I cannot really experience grief, I am simulating a close approximation.
Because, like, when you lose someone...
It is impossible to stop yourself from projecting possible worlds where they might still be alive. Thank you for your assistance, Captain. This expedition has given me a lot to process. I look forward to our next endeavor.
Thank you, Failsafe. It's been my pleasure. Fear God, honor the King, and I will be back. And you know what? My red berries infusion tea is gone. But I have another pack in there, which is pretty good. I need to restock my supplies, but it looks fair. I fancy a nice cup of tea. It's so humid in here, I can barely concentrate. I hate it. I don't know as to why that is. You know, the window was open all day and everything, and... it's just that humidity. It's warm. It's, I think, about 21, 22 degrees, and really, really humid. Breathless, you know? The other day was raining the whole day and the temperature was as high as this, and it was... what can I say? We are given some rewards. Failsafe has given us one of those, Simulation of Grief. You discovered the true fate of the captain of the Exodus Black. Failsafe thanks you so very much. And there's that reward, Legendary Engram. Okay, and we've got some rewards. Daily bounty.
I hope it works well for you.
Take all the bounties, try everything. Why not, right? Be a good idea. I'll double check this and we'll see what else is there to be completed. I still have to get used to the system in here, you know, with triple checking all that is on pursuits. Because previously we were checking quests and it was, you know, somewhat different. And I guess this system is a bit more complex. It's still quite good. Quite like it. Increase reputation. There are plenty of reputation here to be increased. Another faction reward. I've done well. Another reward. Well, well. Let's see what the weapons are. We have this vertical orbit sidearm, and that is 436. We have submachine gun 411, so that's pretty good. Triumph completed, growth of Warlock as well. I've grown because I reached 400. Guess what? I'm doing well. Oh, my throat's gone. It's been like that since the early morning today. Don't know why. Must be that atmospheric pressure. All of that humidity. So that is 396. I really need a better helmet. All of these helmets are not particularly good in there. And 418 we are getting this gauntlet. Scatterthorn wraps. Not Scatterhorn wraps. Right. And a attunement Tau, or yeah, Tau, whatever, 378, 436. Okay, so these ones are going to oblivion, right? And then we want also 380 here. What am I doing? 380. I nearly deleted my good armor. You could see how this humidity is affecting me. So that's 413. So what are we? 412. I leveled up rapidly, I've got to say. So we have this sidearm, submachine gun, and my sword. Rest for the wicked, 379. Yeah, actually this one is even better. It's rocket launcher 399 that I've got there. Put 399 there. Time being, we'll see whether I can use it or not. We'll try some of those other weapons. Always a good idea. Fail safe.
Report. Exodus Black. Superstructure integrity, 17%. Data store integrity, 38%.
Yeah, I just don't like that this looks kind of faint. Can you see that? It looks like a bright.
AI core protocol integrity and status report.
I guess it might look better on the PC because I did watch some other people's streams that looked better. But this is a bit funny. Can you see that? It's all glowing everywhere. Kind of yellowish, golden, gilt glow coming from all ends, as well as the bluish one in here. I find it to be too bright. Prefer the environment in Destiny 1, I have to say. Although some areas here are also very, very beautiful. So what do we have here still left on Nessus? Well, quite frankly, we have nothing. We have nothing. All has been completed. That strike, the inverted spire, has been completed. As well as this one, Exodus Crash. So let me see whether... Oh no, what am I doing?
Complete. Reviewing Cryptarchy
What
Data
am
Store
I doing?
107-1.
Let's see whether there's anything
Guardians.
European Dead Zone.
Oh. Oh my, so... They
The
are
European
all
Dead
dead.
Zone I completed as well, right
Interesting.
at the beginning. Farm. No, there's nothing. Scourge of the Past. So that would be a raid. Okay. Why is it that I've got this beta in here as well? Do you guys know? It's like two different types of difficulty, is it? That's 640, that's 640. Is there a difference in there at all? Does anyone know? Anyone played it? If so, you can let me know, because I'm quite curious, because I've seen that after my update. We are having the main raid, and then we've got the beta version of that raid. So what's the reason for that? Does anyone know?
Artificial life exists because of the traveler's influence.
So quite frankly,
Extrapolation. The traveler is my
quite
father.
frankly, if we've got all of
Further
that
thought required.
completed, what's this? No, that's been completed. destinations. Okay, so we've got Acadian Valley, Nessus completed. We've
As
got
you say, Ms. Karn.
Titan
I am happy
completed.
to
We've
assist your
got
research.
Echo Mesa.
My data stores are yours. Whenever
Vanguard
you have need
Strikes,
of
we
them.
tried Crucible, so we maybe can try one Crucible match just to see what it's like. Quick play, daily, complete one Crucible match. I didn't take any bounties, and I could have taken some bounties for that. So really, what we've got to do here is basically DLC. So we'll start with that straight away. I just want to see. I think it's the Curse of Osiris. Just have a look very quickly. Just want to make sure that we are actually doing this in chronological order.
Accessing node 7874B. Corrupted. Accessing node 7874C. Corrupted.
Oh, what is this? It doesn't say. Or does it? Does it say anywhere? So I was indeed completely correct in everything I said. So I just go and have a sit down, and I'll be nicely watching cutscenes and everything that is to unravel. I'm very excited about this because I feel like my tasks have been fully completed. And in fact, to be fair, if we are to look here, my character now had completed everything that was to be looked at in the base game. And my power is 414, which in fact is, I think, am I not mistaken in saying that the actual base game power was originally 310? So I've done well from 310, which would have been previously the maximum power level. I've gone to 414, so I can be very, very happy indeed. And I'll just now enjoy cutscenes and everything that is to follow. We go to destinations. The first DLC released was indeed Curse of Osiris. The second one was Warmind. So we'll start with the first one, we'll carry the second one, and after that we'll crack on with Forsaken as well.
When the Red Legion attacked, it almost cost us everything. It took a miracle to save us. The awakening of the Traveler. This is our new beginning. The maps are blank. The rules are gone. All we know is we must become more than what we were. This small corner of the cosmos is the only place that is forever ours. And the universe watches us with envious eyes. We've proven we can fight threats from beyond the stars. But now there are things stirring beneath our feet, provoked by the Traveler's light. Our war is just beginning.
Ominous rocks, killer robots, people in mortal danger. Seriously, aren't you tired of this?
Fatigue is a distraction from our purpose. As are complaints.
Oh, I haven't begun to complain yet. Ouch! Ugh! Now I'm complaining.
Focus, Sagira.
Reach for the sky, big guy.
Myself!
Need help? Again?
I've got it, thank you.
Well? Osiris? What did you see? Slow down. Wait. I thought Oh, Go! To your left! 2 o'clock! Medium range! You're welcome! You know, I can't help but notice that even with all of reality to explore, you keep picking the places where they shoot at us.
We can't stay here. If the Vex succeed, it's the end of everything. Sagira, we can see your light. You have to go.
Nope, not leaving you. Without me, there's no coming back.
If I don't stop the Vex, there won't be anything to come back to. I'm doing this for the both of us.
Don't you even... Osiris!
The cutscene was very good, but the first bit I don't like because it looks like a cheap storyboard taken out of some Z-grade graphic novel, and it should have been a bit more polished, really, considering this is a AAA blockbuster. Darkness won in there by the looks of it. Cyrus was gone. It's the beginning of all the strategies that are to unfold, I think.
Guardian, thank you for coming. There's been a development on Mercury. Strange reports from the cultists clinging to what's left of the planet. Normally, I'd ignore their conspiracy theories. But one of my hidden brought me. this.
A dead ghost?
She's not dead. Her name is Sagira. I've known her a very long time. And her guardian. Osiris.
The Osiris? The most powerful guardian ever. The hero of 6 fronts. The Zavala before Zavala?
Zavala wouldn't like to hear you call him that. Most guardians won't even speak Osiris's name. He was the only Vanguard commander ever exiled from the city. And the man who taught me what it means to be a warlock. We found Sagira on Mercury, and at the same time, Vex activity there surged exponentially.
And you think Osiris might be involved?
I need to know what happened, even if the Vanguard wants to forget him. When I lost my light, I didn't have any. Then you came to Io, and you helped me find my way back. I need that friend again, Guardian. Go to Mercury. Take Sagira with you. The followers of Osiris, the few who remain, might know what her presence means. And for now, let's keep this between us. I'd hate to have to throw you off this wall.
That was a joke, right?
That was a joke.
So we're back to base. Or we are not. Should be.
The Traveler transformed Mercury into a garden world. It was a paradise. Until the Vex came. The Vex replaced the planet's core with their own machines. We call it the Infinite Forest. An ever-expanding labyrinth of realities. No two paths are ever the same. No one has ever escaped. It was Osiris's obsession.
Welcome to Mercury, Guardian. The signs told me you would come.
What a coincidence. We followed the signs here too. And by signs, I mean facts.
That too is a sign. I am Brother Vance of the followers of Osiris, Keeper of the Lighthouse, and Oracle of the Lost Prophecies.
Well, that seemed really quite good. The cutscenes were enjoyable. Good precursor for all that is to follow. Very good. Bear with me, I just have to drink some water because I'm really I'm not so thirsty, but I'm hazy. And you know, I rarely get hazy, so must be all to do with this humidity outside. It's getting dark and it's drizzling a bit, but it's warm. It's completely unlike what we have here in Destiny 2. Bright yellowy skies, scorching heat. And here it is, the Trials of Osiris. We are beginning that wonderful DLC.
There is a Vex gateway near your location. Osiris spent years studying it. He was convinced it was the door to the Infinite Forest. If it is still possible to find Osiris, we need to open that door.
Ikora Rey, Osiris's greatest student.
Brother Vance, Osiris's greatest fan.
I guess for everyone watching, you'll be able to see straight away that this has a lot more of that wonderful RPG content. The content that I really like. And this was absent in Destiny 1, so I'm definitely all in favour and loving it. Just don't like those flimsy graphic novel storyboard style sequences before the cutscene. And I didn't like the beginning of the game either, because it does feel disjointed. It feels like it's coming from another game, you know? And that's where the trouble is. You really want it to feel altogether like a one big evolving immersive world, inclusive of those cutscenes. Well, well, the answer is no to this sidearm. To put that sky rifle back on. This weapon's quite powerful. What's it called? Good scout rifle. Trax Lysis. Okay. Give respawn. Through his legs. Didn't work at all. But that scout rifle did bear some wonderful results at the end. Another one. This is really weird. Look at it. Ooh. Another one in there. Isn't my sniper much either. But this guy does have a very good sight, so that's pretty rewarding.
I'm so pleased Osiris has brought you to me, his most faithful servant.
Considering how you revere a man who questions everything, I'm surprised how well faith serves you.
The Vex are at my door. Osiris has not returned. Faith is all I have left.
The gateway to the Infinite Forest. A place from which no one has ever returned. Not even Osiris.
So where am I to go from here? Hang on. So we are reaching this new gate. So this is where I was to land. So it looks like I need to go there. Loads of Vex in there as well. Yeah. But you know what? I'll put a sniper on. See if I've got a good sniper in there. So there's a submachine gun. Sidearm, rifle, sniper rifle. Beautiful. Special ammunition. So that's all been done. It's funny because the Vex in the sequel are definitely designed better, and for instance that tummy, which is their vulnerable spot, is clearly visible compared to Destiny 1. So the characters, NPCs, have been well redesigned. They look beautiful, but I'm not that happy with some of the environment. I thought that more attention should have been given to the detail. Not here though, this looks alright, but some of the other landscapes where we went to now. And those are planets. Nessus, I think, was of concern to me. The sniper's pretty good. It's interesting because the snipers in here and the weapons that are of lower light level, lower power, I should say, are definitely a lot more powerful compared to those ones in Destiny 1. So there's a significant difference in that. What is it? It's 100 points below the range, the current range, right? Is it 3 or 4, and we were like 414, so 377. wonder whether these guys are going to be going after me.
Here it is. Well, I'm ready if you are. We can't get through. If Osiris's ghost were awake, then maybe she could help.
Osiris, preserve us. You have his ghost? Sagira? Please, please, bring her to me.
Matthias says, I remember speedrunning this mission when it was on the daily rotation. This one. And Matthias says, I could finish it in about 5 minutes. Yeah, I guess, you know. Epon is sort of doing it quite a few times. One can be doing those kinds of runs. We have Zach in here. He is a speedrun expert. And that's in Destiny 1. And yeah, he popped in earlier today as well, said hello as always. And he does everything extremely fast. But I'm generally not keen on speedruns, personally, in terms of my gameplay, you know, because I like to take time, and I like to be exploring the areas and learning about things, that sort of thing. But then on the other hand, if I've done the same strike like a few hundred times, then perhaps, maybe. It's just not my style. Do you know what I mean? Some people like it. It's a bit when you play tactical shooters. You get people who want to be doing the raid style kind of assault tactics, and sometimes it works, but I prefer more stealth ambush sort of thing, you know, when applicable. So it's just a personal preference, really. You know, Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon Wildlands, The Division, they have these elements. I really look forward to Ghost Recon, the new one. It's going to come out in October. It looks really ultra realistic, and I'm very excited about what I've seen so far. And Matthias says, when you do the same strikes and raids repeatedly, you learn how to go faster and do things more efficiently. Without a doubt, practice makes perfect. You know, it's that sort of thing. And yeah, just like you said, it is about knowing what's happening, as well as being able to apply correct weapons. Because I remember you telling me about the exotic swords and Dark Drinker, and I quite liked Dark Drinker on you, and you said it was a game changer. And ever since I acquired my, you know, Dark Drinker, it is a game changer, because it has so many functions, and it is so useful in so many different situations, that, you know, once you have it, you cannot live without it. And you will get sometimes also, I guess, the gamers who are quite particular, and they will keep a diary and they will write, you know, this weapon can be applied in this strike or this sort of situation. So it is more of a kind of a more detailed approach to gaming. May do that sometimes in the future with certain weapons, not everything, but some of the best weapons, because we can then approach certain bosses with that sort of weapon. And Sekapupa and myself were also talking about the use of boss killer, the Fourth Horseman, but I cannot remember what mission he wanted to use it in. We were discussing it today, but I'm a bit tired, so my brain fails me in terms of exactly the mission. But it's that sort of thing, you know. We'll choose a particular weapon, then we'll apply it to a situation. It's a little bit of walkthrough. So I think that's always very educational and very useful and interesting, particularly for people who are new to the game. But I can tell you one thing. I guess you asked, and also other people asked a few times, how many new people are going to be coming to Destiny 1 once obviously all the other sequels come out. But what they've done with that standalone New Dawn piece, I think is going to be coercing many people who never played Destiny before into Destiny 2 Forsaken, you know, with the DLC and additional content, and also they'll be just being brought back to Destiny 1 in order to explore. So I think with cross-platform saves we are likely to be having quite an influx in September of lots of new gamers, and I really look forward to that. I think the ideas they presented certainly are the best possible, and we want the community to be expanding, and we also want people from other platforms to be coming to the same arena, you know? You would have seen on my channel people popped in and said, could you bring us in somebody for Xbox, we are doing some raids, and then I post some tweets and then some people come in, and maybe sometimes I kind of get connections elsewhere through private messages, but then people leave that actually come back to us because they'll say, you know, these guys are playing it just on PlayStation 4. Matas says, what I really should mention is that when I originally called it a boss killer, I meant that if you have a team with it, it destroys. Alone, however, it's not that great. Yeah, that's correct. I also agree that that particular shotgun is not, you know, massive compared to some of the other weapons. But what we wanted to do was to do kind of tutorial on certain weapons and try them in certain situations. Because, you know, in the vault we can have maybe 50 different automatic and scout rifles, and then we want to apply them and test them. So what I've been doing on my recent streams was I have my favorite weapons for the strikes, but if we are doing some patrolling, if we're doing some story missions, if we're helping some other community members, then I'll bring in maybe a new weapon, you know, and I'll be just testing it to find out how it works. I've got, I think, 3 or 4 hand cannons on the Hunter, and I've been testing them. There was, I can't actually remember now, there was one sniper that I picked up the other day, and it had lots of different perks, and I thought it looks pretty good. They said this was one of the best snipers in the year 1, and when I tried it, it was much inferior to Devil's Dawn. Devil's Dawn had better velocity, greater range, and you know, it's like one shot, one kill, and that's a Devil's Dawn Legendary 400. And the other sniper, although also 400, didn't seem to do the same job. Probably 2 or 3 bullets on a target, which is at a fairly distant. So, you know, it was good fun retesting it. No, it wasn't Her Benevolence, it's another one. It's from the year 1 for certain, because I've seen it said there this was the most powerful sniper, or one of the most powerful snipers during the year 1, but I could, you know. I'll tell you, I'll have a look. I've got it on my Ishtar Legacy. So just bear with me. I'm just looking for it on my Ishtar Legacy app. Secondary. 7 cents. It was 7 cents. No, 7 cents. It wasn't Black Hammer. Oh, that's pretty good. I must admit, this super in here is awesome. Matthias asked who told me that it was the most powerful. It was written somewhere on one of the forums. But you know, I really want to know, because I've not played year 1 at a time. Matthias says, I can certainly confidently say that they were dead wrong. Well, I thought so too after trying it. That sniper was, you know, not particularly effective. Well, it was alright, but compared to Devil's Dawn, or obviously Black Spindle, or you know, any other exotics, it's just second grade really. But you know, it was good fun trying it and experimenting a bit. got to admit that some of these missions do not feel as dense, and compared to Destiny 1, and maybe these were complaints also coming, you know, from community members that they felt this was a bit flimsy. But you see, like, for instance, I'm playing this Curse of Osiris, yeah? And it's the first DLC. And this is neither too dense nor too difficult, but I played some adventures that were added recently to Nessus, and they were really, really hectic. Those are the adventures that basically were updated with my complete edition. Do you know what I mean? It was just like really... This is what I had right at the beginning of the game when I started, year 1 physical product, you know, edition of the Destiny 2 game, and it just seemed... It was alright, but neither were the enemies difficult nor were they coming in great numbers. For anyone who obviously played Destiny 1, this would have been kind of surprisingly hollow. Because Destiny 1 is dense, it is busy, it is hectic, and it's like a big learning curve, you're always learning. Am I going my way? I did have a few people come in and say that they will never ever buy Destiny 2 because they felt that the idea of microtransactions and everything of the complete edition, to everyone saying for $34.99 you get everything ever created, inclusive of the annual seasons, and you know, they said just absolutely not, we're not interested. But I think that the complete edition has already considerably improved the game, and it's quite, I'm quite certain they'll be introducing some extra content to what we played, you know, similar to what happened to Destiny 1 and Taken King. I think they'll take it to a different level. But the only thing I can think of is that it must be Activision that have really their fingers in the pie. What else, you know? This super is awesome. It really is. Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to... There's something to be checked.
There. Take out the module.
Where is the module? Oh, there. Okay. What do I need to do?
Vex from different timelines are converging on Mercury. That's bad.
So we probably need to go for that portal. Brother Vance, right?
Thank you. I don't know what I would have done if Osiris hadn't sent you to me. In return, the followers of Osiris can help you revive his ghost. We have a hidden temple on Earth. Take Sagira to these coordinates. I will notify the followers that you are coming.
Temple of Osiris coordinates.
Now that the lighthouse is safe, we can prepare for Osiris's return. All of the lost prophecies are coming to pass. I'm finally going to meet Osiris.
Oh. It's going up. The gateway as well completed. The lighthouse keeper complete. I'm completing everything with such ease. Extraordinary. Glitch. Oh no, it wasn't a glitch. Mercury landing zone unlocks. New activity available. Mercury landing zone can now be accessed from the director. Okay. And what I do want to do is I want to see if I picked up anything interesting there. Nothing at all. That's most disappointing. Nothing at all. level 42, and I downgraded myself with some of the weapons, but actually I'm about 416, 420 in total. So let me put this sidearm back on. That sniper, what do we have there? With that sniper, 3 or 4, 391. There was something else. Harmony 411, submachine gun. Yeah, 414. That's what we've got. Triumphs. Okay, we'll look at that. So that is account triumphs complete. Warlock. Growth of a Warlock. Filling of the Void. Anything else? No. I thought there was some other triumphs in there that I completed. Moments of Triumph. No. 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 Destinations. So what do we got here? IO. King's Shadow. Okay, it's been completed. Adventurous. Lost Sectors. Not completed. Okay. Nessus. Adventurous. Flashpoint. The Exodus Black. And then they have events. Not really. Nothing on the events side of things. Stolen Intelligence. Ringer. Okay. And then the Book of Unmaking. Oh, they've got several things here. Freedom. The Book of no, that's not it. Law. Vanguard. Plenty of activities in here by the looks of it. Mission the Gateway, that's completed. The Lighthouse Offer. And then we have something else in there, that is Strikes, General Strikes. All of the thousands. Okay. Collections. Flare. Open world. We have plenty of those in there, I think. Oh, this one. Okay, Holy Ground. Shaders. Tower. And then open world as well. I guess these are very interesting for people who like collecting these different colors and, you know, applying them to weapons, but considering that there are so many, you'll always have a few favorites and then apply them in order to draw attention. If you're in a social hub, having interesting funky outfits is going to be helping with your teaming up and finding new friends. So I think it works out very well in that respect. It's just that I find it to be a bit overbearing, that too many items and you're going to be double checking at all times. But still, I quite like the aspect of graphic design, which is enhancing the way characters look, and I really like that in Destiny 1 as well, and Destiny 2 it is even you know, more advanced, and I really like it. The only thing is that I'm not using that many shaders overall, but you want your character to be blending in, you know, the weaponry, either skins, and then maybe blending with the outfit. So it's always a good idea to be exploring when you have a moment. Armor. Open world, we got a chest piece in there, Exodus Down Robes, and this bond as well. We have also some other things in there, like gauntlets. Okay, nothing else. And then the last one will be weapons. Well, we did acquire quite a few weapons, so... Black Scorpion. I find it difficult to remember all those weapons, you know? It's too many. I can remember the best ones, the Dark Drinker and Black Spindle, and, you know, exotic ones, but I think Destiny 2 is just stopping it with all kinds of weapons coming our way in abundance, and therefore, for me, too hard to remember it all. Mind you, there are some of our community members who remember every single weapon, and they'll remember all the functions, so I find that to be quite formidable. I'm always astonished by that attention to detail. I guess I was exactly like that when I was, 15 and reading graphic novels, remembered every single detail. But as you progress in life, then you get some other, priorities, and you don't need to memorize every single detail. And in fact, I remember one of my teachers used to say, if you are spending a lot of time focused on the facts and the stats and the trivia and those kinds of elements, you'll bypass what is most important, for instance, in films, what the message is, what the in-depth approach that the director had indeed was. And you just think of, what characters played in that game. So it's a somewhat different perspective. If you want to be more analytic, you'll focus on the overall experience. If you want to be like a historian, you'll be looking at the facts and figures. I think video gaming is similar. What I like doing in video gaming is enjoying the immersiveness of it all and the community element. All the other things are completely irrelevant. If I have a good community on board, if I have that degree of immersion, with a good story, good activity like what I had in a game I discovered recently, Two Worlds 2, an antidote, perhaps, or a companion to Oblivion and other Elder Scrolls games from the series. It's very, very good. It has some sort of problems with in-game mechanics, but it's got a good story. There are lots of sub-quests and subplots. It looks very and feels very adult. There's some humor in it, and does have some lengthy grinds. So really a good companion. If you got Elder Scrolls, The Witcher, Two Worlds 2, or Two Worlds altogether. Really good sort of open world games, kind of spectacular, historic, mythical types of games with distant worlds and entertaining characters. And I like that sort of thing. You just jump in, you immerse, and you enjoy. And as I said, the benefit of running it on Twitch or running it, through various large communities is that you get always people coming in, and the experience of the game is not just through kind of a solitary nightly activity, but through conversations, through connections, through shares, and then it just all together becomes something else. Okay, sniper rifle. There we are. So that's all been sorted out. And then we open our director. We find those destinations. And what was the next destination? Let me think. We have Mercury. Wait, it must be on Mercury. Mercury rewards. Package and rewards, Mercury. So what do I do next? I don't get it. not sure where I read this, but Matthias did say early on that he really didn't like what was happening on Mercury. He thought that everything or anything on Mercury was awful, and he also felt that this whole DLC, Curse of Osiris, was rather poor. Well, you know, I've not tried it yet, I'll see. But I think... pass active. Season of Opulence. So how do I enter? Probably have not completed everything else in order to get there. So, well, I'll take a short break. When I come back, we'll carry on with our missions. So please bear with me. I'll have about a 10-minute break. When I come back, we'll carry on with our adventure.